Hey guys, welcome back to another video. So this week I want to share 5 self-care habits, or you could also call them self-care actions, that are going to support your mindset and your mental health and well-being. I think with these videos, sometimes they're also just really nice as a reminder. Some of these things maybe you might have heard before, but you know, sometimes they just slip off our radar. We need to go revisit these things in through video or books or whatever it might be and be like, oh yeah, let me get back to doing that again. Or maybe sometimes it's we're so invested in our current, mental state and our lifestyles and our day-to-day life that you might hear something in this video that might go, oh, actually, yeah, that's something that I haven't even thought about and I need to maybe put more attention on. So I hope today's video is helpful. So I'm gonna just get straight on into it. Okay, so the first self-care action we're gonna start off with is to start saying no when it is needed. Now I've added on when it is needed because of course there's gonna be times where saying yes to things is gonna bring us positive benefits, whether that be like new experiences, getting out of your comfort zone, etc. Sometimes there is a positive action to that. However, the point that we're really focusing on here is more so for any of you guys who feel like you're maybe more of a people pleaser. Now, I totally relate to this because I too can be a people pleaser. I definitely used to be a much bigger people pleaser in the past. I completely get it. You want to do a good job. You also want to help others. I think in the workspace as well, like let's be real about it. I think there is a little, not necessarily like an ego side to it, but you want to be that person that people can rely on. You like, the image and like the thing that it gives off about yourself when you can do something a bit beyond your role and show that, you're that helpful person. And listen, that's great. However, if that's starting to impact your mental health and well-being and you're getting home at the end of the day and you are just so stressed, that's not doing you definitely any favors. And sometimes we just need this reality check to start thinking, hang on, I actually do need to start saying no to some of these things because it's impacting my health. It's impacting how I'm functioning. Another thing I want to put alongside this is that when we start to say yes to loads of things and we start getting overwhelmed by it, we can then start to get like irritated by like maybe like say the job place or maybe even like by friends, whoever it might be, that it's their problem, like, and it's like, I shouldn't have to do all these things, and it's like, you start kind of creating this thing like it's not self-inflicted, basically. But at the end of the day, if you said yes to it, like that person is going to take, that as face value. If you said yes and they're going to take it as, okay, this person can do it then. So really there's no one else to blame if it's you who is saying, yes, I can do that. Yes, I'll do that. Yes, I'll do this. When you say no to something, you are prioritizing yourself. You are in control of your life, your day-to-day living, how you think, feel, move about your day. And the sooner you can become best friends with saying no, honestly, the sooner you will elevate your life. Okay, the second self-care action that I really think is so needed is schedule in alone time. And when I say schedule, I mean schedule. Like in your diary, choose like a day where you're like, no, this day I'm not doing anything. Or maybe it's not as extreme as that. Maybe it's like an evening. Like maybe it's a certain evening after work where you're like, cancel out in your diary, no plans, I'm going home and I'm having some alone time. Alone time is honestly so important. Like you need that time to recharge. Some people actually struggle with this, particularly if they find they're more social beings and find that people energize them. But what you also want to bear in mind with that is that even when you're around people, you're still exerting a lot of brain energy. So it is really important to have those moments in your maybe day or even week or however you want to structure it, where you have time literally just on your own. This is also a really key thing, I think, for anyone who's in like a creative field, because if you are like on the go constantly and you don't really have much time on to yourself, you're not allowing much time and space in your mind for those creative thoughts to flow. Also remember, depending on your lifestyle, maybe you need to tweak this to what fits with you. Like for example, say you're a new mum and you've got little ones running around, then understandably it is very rare that you probably will get alone time. So maybe your alone time isn't as long as and extensive. So it might be about just finding those pockets of time in the day, whether that be once the kids go to bed, where you just have an hour, just to recharge and relax and be, or maybe it's like, cherishing that 5 minutes you might have to do your skincare routine and really making a moment of that. Or maybe if it's an option, scheduling a time maybe for, the children to maybe go to a loved one or a friend, just even for an hour. If you can just have an hour then, just to do kind of something on your own. The more you're you're looked after, the better your little ones are going to be looked after. And also, they are sponges, you know, they watch everything. So even just watching you like prioritize yourself and, you know, maybe take like a couple minutes to relax or do something, whatever it might be, they are actually silently on the sidelines watching that, and they grow up learning, like, you know, seeing their parents prioritize their well-being and self-care and mindset, all that kind of stuff. So everything is always a positive spin on it, even when things might find, you know, they're a little bit chaotic with kids. Self-care action number 3, definitely recommend journaling. Now, journaling, I know it won't be for everyone, but if you haven't tried it, definitely as a self-care tool, it can be just so powerful in my opinion. I personally don't find that journaling needs to be necessarily something that you have to do every single day. Like, I turn to journaling when I need it. Like, for example, like, if there is something really going on in life that is quite, you know, stressful for you, or maybe just something emotional that you're having to deal with, that's where journaling can be quite helpful in that, because it's a bit like having a free therapist. You can get those thoughts and everything out onto a bit of paper. Or like, let's say you're going through a health struggle, like let's say acne, you know, going through that journey, a lot of emotions can come up. So maybe you might even use a journal prompt you can use, and it can trigger you to get back into more of a positive mindset. Speaking of, actually, over on my Instagram, I actually just shared 7 journal prompts for people who are going through an acne journey, so I'll leave that link down below. And also, I think the other thing with journaling, it's a great way to really see our true perspective. Like, it is mind-blowing when you look back at like maybe old journal entries, and you'll look back and read and be like, what the hell, like I was literally telling myself all the answers there in the moment, but you know, when we're kind of journaling it all out, we might not see it straight away. So sometimes, you know, reading back on old journal entries can actually be really insightful. Okay, self-care action number 4 is we've got to stop these negative thoughts, this negative self-talk monologue, okay? You know that little voice in our head that just loves to tell us these self-destructive thoughts, or that little voice that likes to worry us about a situation that hasn't happened yet and then convince you of a certain outcome, whatever it might be, that little voice, it needs to shut up. Honestly, guys, when it comes to our thoughts are so powerful. Like, definitely, you know, with my clients that say struggling with acne, I always say, if you tell yourself you are gonna break out, like from eating, let's say, a certain food, I guarantee the stress and the thoughts of keep on going over that in your head will then make you break out. There's a fantastic book, actually, it's called When the Body Says No by Gabor Mate, and that whole book is literally all about the effects of stress and the mindset and how it embodies through illness, and it is so interesting. So these self-destructive negative thoughts, all they're doing is holding you back in life. You know, that thought that maybe is saying, no, don't do that because you're not good at X, Y, and Z, or don't do that because of this reason, that reason. What would happen if you started doing the opposite and started bigging yourself up, being that cheerleader and being like, yeah, I'm gonna do that, you know, I'm good at this, and, you know, talking yourself up instead of tearing yourself down? I tell you what will happen, your life will go from down here to way up there. I honestly think the most effective place to start is just to literally just start flipping the narrative. Like, if you catch that little voice start saying something in your head, stop yourself and then just start telling yourself the opposite. You've got to kind of go through that brain training. At the beginning, you might feel like, oh, I don't know, it feels a little bit unnatural because you feel like you're kind of going against what your brain naturally wants to say, but you just got to keep pushing through and keep just flipping the narrative and flipping those things into those positive affirmations, and eventually you will break through, and that is how you then get your brain trained into more of a positive self-talk than the negative. Another really good exercise is actually getting a bit of paper and writing down all the things that come in your head that are those kind of negative thoughts and those destructive thoughts, and then next to it write a list of all the positive things, all the things you love about yourself, you know, whether it might be looks, personality, whatever it might be. And then what you need to do is get a pen and physically cross through all those negative things and then read through that positive list a couple of times. In my program that I created, so I made a program called the Acne Code Mindset Program, which will be running again soon, so if you are interested, stay tuned, because I'm sure I'll be posting another round of intake. Go follow me on Instagram if you are interested. In my program, I use this exercise, and one of the participants did it. She said she was very skeptical about it and she just couldn't believe what a difference it made on her mindset, and now it was something that she said she'll definitely, you know, do more regularly. So these little things, they might seem a bit like, oh, how's that going to work? But it really does. It does impact how that brain is thinking, and this is all what we call brain training. Okay, and then we have self-care action number 5, and this might be my favorite one. And this is something that I just started doing, and then I was like, oh my God, what a game changer that has been for my day, and I've done it ever since. Every single day when I wake up, I start by asking myself, how can I make today great? Okay. Now, when I ask myself that question, I'm not asking myself necessarily in the point of view of like, what can I do today? It's more so, what little actions could I maybe surround between all the activities of my day to support myself, definitely on like an emotional and mindset point of view, and maybe also it might be like a nutrition point of view, or you know, some of the other pillars as well, but definitely from the emotional mindset point of view, what little things can I add into my day that are going to support me? I think that question at the beginning of the day honestly is such a game changer. So to give you some examples of what that might look like, really depends on what emotion needs to be supported. Like, let's say like I'm really stressed and I just feel like there's so much on today and it's like very go, and I've also got a bit of a to-do list, then maybe I'm gonna go, right, at the beginning of my day, I'm gonna sit down and I'm going to, you know, write down all my tasks to do, and I'm gonna look at my schedule and schedule those things in and create a bit of a plan, so that kind of takes off some of that added pressure, and I can see, okay, no, if I stick to this, I can get through things. It could be maybe you're just feeling emotionally like, you know, maybe you feel a bit low and you just need a bit of a comfort hug. But it could be like, I'm gonna make a cup of tea and I'm going to go for a quick little walk today, like 10 minutes, just to kind of get that sun exposure, get myself in that fresh air, and really support my mental state. It could be, you know, I'm not going to make any plans this evening, I'm going to come home, I'm going to get in bed, maybe like watch, you know, an episode of my favorite TV show, read a book, and just have a bit of time to myself and relax. Or maybe you're craving social connections, so maybe you might think, I'm going to meet up with one of my friends today and go for a quick, you know, coffee catch up or something. These are just examples, but the actions you choose to put into your day are going to be completely unique to you, because what it's about is that at the start of the day, just tapping into your body and asking, you know, what do I need right now? What support is my body asking for? And listen to your body and the signals, and then actually respond to it and actually do something about it. Sometimes we wake up and we're like, you know, we've got a lot on and we might instantly think, oh, today might not be the best of days. But you know what? Again, going back to that negative self-talk, you're telling yourself it's not going to be one of the best days. So if you're starting your day like that, then probably it's not going to be. However, if you have one of those days when normally you would maybe think it's probably going to be not a great day, and flip that and ask yourself, how can I make today a really good day? You will actually find that you can make a good day out of every day. Anyway, guys, they are my 5 self-care actions that I'm going to share in today's video. Let me know in the comments if any of these really resonated for you, and also give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed content in this category of that kind of mindset, mental health, and you would like more videos like this. I really hope you enjoyed this video, whether you are watching or listening along, and if you aren't already, make sure you are subscribed to the channel so you don't miss any future videos from me. I hope you guys have a great week, and I will see you guys next Sunday. Mwah. Bye.